Hey everyone and welcome back, and this is quite a very hard episode for me to do because obviously it's been a week since the last time I spoke to you guys, and what's been a very Jekyll and Hyde week where we've demolished Torino 7-0 and gotten what was a very disappointing result at home against Cagliari in a 0-0 draw where we could have secured Champions League football for the following campaign, but we didn't, and it leaves us with a bitter pill to swallow in what was a game where all of us went into it thinking that we were definitely going to get the result that we needed and punish Juventus and keep them out of Champions League football, and if most importantly get us back into a competition that we all belong in. We know we belong in this competition. It's just really disappointing, and look, I don't want to do a video here today bashing about that result. I don't think there were a lot of positives. A 0-0 draw, what much can we talk about? We didn't take any chances, we didn't actually create many chances, but I want to talk about the game coming up against Atalanta because this is a crucial fixture, and I think in a sort of, I don't want to sit here and say that we're going to lose this game, even though it's not looking good. Historically, it's not a very easy fixture to even get a draw at, let alone to get a win, what we clearly need to get if results don't go away in other fixtures. But we have to look towards it with hopefully some optimism, because as fans we need to just believe until the last game of the season, which evidently this is. And this would actually create a very sort of, fairy tale scenario that if we do come out of this game with a win, I just think it's just incredible. It just epitomises this season of just being a roller coaster of emotions. Not good for my heart because I think I can't go for any more of it. I'd just rather know where we are going to be. And yeah, I think like historically we have to look at, especially when we look at that game when Atalanta destroyed us 5-0 back in 2019, we have to look at how the team's grown since then, and hopefully some sparks of potential, chances for us to get a victory in this game coming up. So I'm not really going to break down the 5-0 loss to Atalanta. It was, it was embarrassing. A lot of people were calling for Pioli's head at that time, and to be honest, he took the team over from Marco Giampaolo, which was a dishevelled team, lacking motivation and confidence. The team back then that Milan fielded, it's quite interesting to look back. The team that we fielded back then was, it's a lot's changed since then. A lot has changed, and we played a 4-3-3. Players like Suso were in the team, Musacchio, even Romagnoli started. Andrea Conti at right back. Ricardo Rodriguez was filling in for, I believe it was suspended, Theo Hernandez at the time. Hakan Çalhanoğlu was a left winger. Liao as a number 9. It wasn't good because this was a time obviously prior to the experience coming into the squad of like Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Simon Kjaer, and obviously some transfers which have transpired since then. So yeah, we evidently got our asses handed to us in a 5-0 defeat. The first half was, I believe we were losing 1-0 at the end of the first half, so it wasn't looking too bad. But in the second half, we just completely capitulated because we fell right into Atalanta's hands, which was basically coming out and chasing the win, and they would expose us on their counter-attacks, pull us apart, expose our lack of pace and desire to win the ball back, and basically just picked us apart and got 5 goals in the game. And we all know about Gasperini dancing on the sidelines, laughing and to our expense. That happened. So there's a lot for us to learn about what we don't want to do in this game coming up this weekend. Another game I do want to also look at was obviously the 3-0 loss we had against them in January. I'm saying, obviously I want to pick apart 2 losses because this is how we have to move forward. We have to move forward, and hopefully Pioli can find a way to get the win this weekend. The players can find a way to get the right desire and motivation to get this done. So the 3-0 loss that we had against Atalanta in January to 2021 this year, that wasn't good either. That wasn't good. It was not long after we had a recent defeat to Juventus. Obviously that defeat was... both these defeats, Juventus and Atalanta in January 2021, came when the personnel was quite low. There was a lot of injuries, a lot of, I think COVID suspension. So Hakan Çalhanoğlu wasn't available. Alexis Selemakers wasn't available. So once again, we go into a game with bare bones of a squad. And if you look at the first 11 of this team that played Atalanta in this 3-0 loss, yes, Ibra was up there playing centre forward, who also was recently back from an injury, so he wasn't at 100%. We were playing Suhilo Mate as an attacking midfielder, Samuel Castillejo at right wing, which we obviously know isn't the the desired choice for that the personnel. Kalulu at centre back, this is before Tomori came into the squad. So, a lot of things have changed since then, and the team that we're going to be fielding on Sunday will be a lot different to what happened in January. So that's something to make of note as well. But once again, the similar things happen in this fixture. What happened in the 5-0 loss, which we go down 1-0 in the first half, and then we're chasing the game, and they pick us apart on the counter attack. This is something that cannot happen on Sunday. We cannot go down a goal. And if we do, we need to keep composure, and hopefully we will get back into it. But I think the key to this, getting this right and purely getting this right, is we can't go behind. It's just as simple as that. We can't go behind. This has been the evidence of the season so far. Anytime we go behind in any fixture, we just do not have it, to claw it back out. And if anything, we're going to concede more goals on the counter attack. So obviously, going back to the 5-0 loss we had to them in 2019, the key thing about that was clear evidence for a needed experience, and that's why Ibrahimovic and Simon Kjaer were brought into the squad in a month later in the January 2020 transfer window. In this fixture coming up this weekend, we have Simon Kjaer to rely upon with that experience, because Ibrahimovic again is out for injury. He's done for the season, and there's going to be question marks about his fitness going forward into next season. So the experience is hopefully there to sort of see us through a fixture where we've seen this before, where we're not going to be dominating possession. If there's one bit glimmer of hope that I can, gain from this fixture coming up, and I know I like to be an optimist, but I'm going to be a very realistic person here. Do I feel like we're going to get a victory in this game? No. But if there's one thing that sort of, history has taught us over the last, recent weeks, is that we should expect the unexpected. We weren't expected to go to Juventus and get a win, especially after 9 years of not getting a win in their stadium. We weren't, even the Torino game, we hadn't won since 2012 away from home, yet we demolished them 7-0. And then we go back to the Cagliari fixture from the weekend. The last time they actually had, we did not win against them was back in 1999. So statistically, the results that you expect to happen aren't happening. So hypothetically, maybe there's a chance that we can get a result at Atalanta. So that's obviously superstitions and whatnot, and if you believe in that, maybe you can read into that. But realistically, where can we attain a result from? And I feel like the team that we're going to line up, similar to obviously the team that we played against Cagliari, similar to the team we played against Torino, there's not going to be too many personnel changes because there just isn't any. But how we set up is probably how the best chance we have of getting a result. We need to keep it compact, work hard, and catch them on the counter-attack. I don't mind sacrificing possession if it means creating more chances and open play down the other end of the pitch. We have players that can punish teams like that and rigid defenders. Their defenders are okay. They're good, but they are also very rarely keeping the clean sheet. I'm talking about the Atalanta players, Rafael Toloi and co. We saw it on the weekend. They conceded 3 against Genoa, so they're not perfect at defending, but they're very good at attacking. So we've got to do as best as we can to nullify their attack while also creating chances for our offense. And with players like Rebic, with players like Leao, with players like Brahim Diaz, I feel like we can expose their defence with the right moments. But don't get me wrong, this has to be a purely masterclass of a performance. The players, the coach have to get this completely right, no individual errors, take their chances, and we can get a win, because at the end of the day, it is what happens on the day. But like I said, I'm a realist to this, and I honestly don't think we're going to get a win here, but you just never know. You just never know, and I just don't think we should go throughout this week with a sort of giving up mentality and thinking that this is over, because we still have something to play for, let alone the fact there's other results that the other teams who we're competing with have to attain as well. So let's see what happens on Sunday. Let's see what happens on Sunday, and hopefully the boys do us proud in what has been a very sort of roller coaster season of emotions, and when we go from there, and let's look at it. Let's look at what's on the line. 50 million euros if we get the Champions League spot. It's big. It is really big. Could this mean that we don't, if we don't get the spot, that we don't sign Tomori outright? Could it mean that we don't get the players that we are being linked with recently in the summer transfer market? More than likely. So there is a lot on the line for these players, let alone the contract renewals of certain players. I'm nervously excited for this game. Probably more nervous because this is so big. This is such a big fixture, and as fans, we need to do our best to support the team, regardless of how much we might think that this isn't going to be a winnable scenario. We just need to support it. We just need to support it, and we go from there. You know, this is a young team, and we're growing, we're learning all these things, but all we can do as fans is remain consistent and support the club. And we always do, but just it's just me just sort of pleading and praying that the result comes if we give some good karma to the team ourselves. And who knows? We like going into games as underdogs. You know, I don't feel like as favourites we never sort of succeed. You know, even when we were top of the table, going into Inter Milan game, even this reverse fixture back in January, we were somewhat like equal favourites. But in this case, we are clearly the underdogs. We were the underdogs against Juventus. We're the underdogs away at Manchester United. We picked up results there, you know. So who knows? You never know what's going to happen on the day. But guys, I'm just going to wrap things up. Comment section below. I want to know what you think that the scoreline is going to be this weekend against Atalanta. Please keep... Obviously, you can be as negative as you want. Please keep, whether it's purely out hashtags or whether it is to a minimum, you know, just try to stay positive, you know. Let's try to seek some optimism. But obviously, of course, if you're going to be realistic about it, throw them in the comment section below. But guys, until next time I'll speak to you, actually, we'll have worked out what's going to happen. So I'm hoping it's a win. You know, fingers crossed. Just keep supporting until the very end. Forza Milan.